Join us at Walters on Friday, October 4th for our end-of-season podcast party. The evening is scheduled from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m.
ABC Thursdays.
Welcome back.
Grey's Anatomy is all new.
Why didn't you tell me you were pregnant?
The drama going down.
Bungee jumping from the bridge, his cord snapped.
We need all hands on deck.
Is unbelievable.
You think you're God's gift to this hospital?
You're just another doctor. My relationship with Catherine is complicated.
I'm gonna sue you.
Your lawyers know where to find me.
You're unbelievable.
Grey's Anatomy. All new Thursdays, 10/9 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
The 2-2. Swing a line drive, center field, base hit. One hop to Young. Pham scores. Witt will hold. And the throw in cut off by Gallo. 4-1 Kansas City. Royals have 5 hits in a row. Davey Martinez is coming out of the dugout.
Yeah, this is
making the slow walk to the mound. Corbin's retired 10 in a row. Davey Martinez is coming out. He's looking out toward the bullpen. He's not made a signal.
Well, the fans are sensing it. They're coming to their feet.
Corbin is going to give him the baseball. Davey pats him on the chest and then pats him on the side of the cheek and makes the signal to the bullpen. And Nationals fans all around Nationals Park are coming to their feet to salute Patrick Corbin for the final time. He doffs his cap to all corners of Nationals Park on his way to the dugout. And handshakes in the dugout as Corbin will end his season, retiring the final 10 Kansas City Royals. 2019 World Series champion Patrick Corbin getting a final ovation.
And welcome to Nats Chat. I'm Al Galdi, host of the Al Galdi podcast. Mark Zuckerman is off for this installment of the podcast. This episode of the podcast is for Friday, September 27th, 2024. What is the 9-year anniversary of the Jonathan Papelbon-Bryce Harper dugout fight? Who could forget that, right? September 27th, 2015, then Nats reliever Jonathan Papelbon and then Nats outfielder Bryce Harper got into a dugout fight off Papelbon yelling at Harper for, in Papelbon's mind, Harper not properly running out a flyout. The fight featured Papelbon putting his hands on Harper's neck, ultimately giving us one of the greatest lines in Washington, D.C. sports history. Then, Nats outfielder Jason Worth, days later in an on-field post-game interview on MASN, calling Papelbon the D.C. Strangler.
You know, the D.C. Strangler.
Yes, the D.C. Strangler, the single greatest line ever from a Nats player in an on-field post-game interview. Jason Worth calling Jonathan Papelbon the D.C. Strangler. Well, there over the years, of course, has been a lot of discussion about the Jason Worth contract with the Nats, a 7-year, $126 million free agent contract to which the Nats signed Worth in December 2010. It was 8 years after that, December 2018, that the Nats signed free agent starting pitcher Patrick Corbin to a 6-year, $140 million contract. And we on Thursday afternoon saw what was, for all intents and purposes, the end of Patrick Corbin's time with the Nats. The Nats did lose again, a 7-4 loss to the Kansas City Royals at Nationals Park to complete a 3-game sweep. The Nats for this 2024 MLB regular season now are 69-90, 21 games below 500, most games below 500 that the Nats have been this regular season. The Nats now have lost 9 of their last 10 games. The Nats in this month of September now are just 8-15, and it would seem that you can forget about the Nats surpassing last regular season's record. The Nats must author a 3-game sweep of the National League East leading Philadelphia Phillies at Nationals Park this weekend in order to surpass last regular season's record of 71-91. The Patrick Corbin contract. We all know the situation. He had his first season with the Nats. Their 2019 World Series championship season was terrific. In the 5 seasons since has been really bad. Why he has declined like this remains a mystery, but the decline has been steep. The decline has been undeniable. If you go by Baseball Reference's version of wins above replacement WAR, Corbin for the 2019 regular season had a WAR of 5.0, which is very good. Corbin for the 2020 through 2024 regular seasons going into Thursday had a combined WAR of minus 2.2. That really is something. Corbin, in this 7-4 loss to the Royals on Thursday afternoon, was the Nats starting pitcher. He allowed 4 runs in 5 1/3 innings. He gave up 6 hits, which were a home run, and 5 singles. He issued 1 walk. He recorded 3 strikeouts. He did throw a lot of strikes, 73 pitches, 49 strikes, 24 balls. This, in a lot of ways, was a typical Patrick Corbin start from the last 5 seasons. There really is no point in analyzing the start beyond what I just said. The Nats almost certainly will not be re-signing Corbin this offseason, and after the game, everybody was talking as if Corbin was essentially done with the Nats. His time with the team is all but done at this point. But his start on Thursday afternoon did end in a very nice way. Nats manager Davey Martinez made it a point to have Corbin begin the top of the 6th so that Corbin could get an ovation when walking off the field off getting pulled from the game. Corbin in that top of the 6th retired the first batter he faced. Martinez pulled Corbin from the game. He got that ovation, and he raised his cap to the crowd. A nice moment for a guy who, let's be honest, over the last 5 seasons has had very few nice moments. This was Patrick Corbin during his post-game session with reporters on Thursday afternoon.
That was cool. Kind of maybe thought something with Davey might come out in that situation there, but yeah, I think that might be my first one of those. But it was cool. I mean, it's half my career I've been here. Got to experience a lot with the fans, and they've supported us throughout the years that I've been here. So nothing but love towards them, and that was just really special.
So the legacy of Patrick Corbin with the Nats is not what he did in 2019, nor is the legacy what he did from 2020 through 2024. The legacy is both of those things. I on X have seen people debating and arguing and pontificating on how Corbin should be remembered with the Nats. You don't have to pick a side, okay? You don't have to pick a lane. An honest, objective, accurate, factual portrayal of Corbin's time with the Nats highlights both 2019 and 2020 through 2024. When it comes to 2019, Corbin being a very good starting pitcher should, of course, never be forgotten, but him that postseason being an effective and willing relief pitcher should never be forgotten. The Nats finished the 2019 regular season last in the majors in relief pitching ERA, 5.66. For those of you who experienced the Nats' 2019 World Series championship season, the extent to which the Nats bullpen that season was atrocious cannot be overstated. The Nats over 17 games in the 2019 postseason totaled 50 2/3 innings of relief. Sean Doolittle, Daniel Hudson, and Patrick Corbin combined for 26 1/3 of those 50 2/3 relief innings. Davey Martinez was so good that postseason, navigating relief pitching despite having such a bad bullpen. And a big part of Davey's navigation was leaning on a starting pitcher in Patrick Corbin to so often pitch in relief. Corbin came through as a reliever that postseason time and time again, including in the Nats 6-2 win at the Houston Astros in World Series Game 7 on Wednesday night, October 30th, 2019. Corbin in that game, 3 scoreless innings with 3 strikeouts. This was Davey Martinez during his post-game press conference on Thursday afternoon on Patrick Corbin, and then you'll hear multiple follow-up exchanges.
We don't win a World Series without him, as we all know. But if you look at him and what he's done here over the last, the guy took the ball every 5 days for the last 6 years. I mean, it was every 5 days. I mean, that's pretty incredible, you know. And I know, you know, he would have loved to win more games, but I can tell you right now, he's a guy that you can count on. He actually threw the ball well. For a lot of times, you know, like I said, he kept us in the game. We get a couple more hits for him, a couple more runs. Things would have been different. Sometimes we didn't play great defense behind him, you know, so that didn't help matters. But he's a competitor. He's unbelievable, and I'm really proud of him because, you know, there've been a lot of guys out there that have gone through what he went through and probably would have shut it down. You know, he didn't. You know, like I said, every 5 days he got the ball and he was out there. So very proud of him. And whatever happens, I enjoyed my time with him. I know we'll always stay close. His family is amazing. So I'm so happy that, you know, that I was able to to be a part of his career.
Davey, how would you describe your emotions of making that final trip to the mound?
Yeah, it's almost like I didn't want to take him out, but I think he understood, and like I said, I couldn't be happier for him or his family, and I know, this ain't the last of Patrick, like I said, he'll be a free agent, but who knows what's going to happen, but he's done well.
What did you make of the reaction that the crowd gave him?
Awesome. I can only say so much. I can't say enough about our fans. Our fans remember, and they're awesome. I always say, they're our 27th man, and they get it. And I was very appreciative. I know he took it to heart.
We do have to acknowledge something when it comes to Patrick Corbin these last 5 seasons. It says a lot about a lot that Patrick Corbin remained in the Nats rotation for the entirety of his final 5 seasons with the team. He was so bad these last 5 seasons. He was quantifiably the worst starting pitcher in the majors over the last 5 seasons. That the Nats at no point from 2020 through 2024 had a better option than Corbin for their rotation is a big-time indictment of the job that the Nats have done of drafting and developing starting pitching. Now, a significant positive of this Nats season is that the organization does seem to be in a much better place when it comes to drafting and developing starting pitching, as we have seen with what has happened this season with Jake Irvin and DJ Hers and Mitchell Parker. But let us not lose sight of the absurdity of Corbin being as bad as he was for these last 5 seasons, and yet not once was he removed from the Nats rotation. How many other teams would have had the situation play out in exactly that way? More from Patrick Corbin during his post-game session with reporters on Thursday afternoon.
This last 6 years have gone by fairly quick, looking back now, but enjoyed every second of it. Don't regret anything. Enjoyed my time here, and obviously to win a World Series, start a family, and get to meet all you guys. So it was great. Really enjoyed it all, and got to meet a lot of people. And probably these next couple of days, maybe say some goodbyes to people that I haven't really got to talk to as much. But yeah, I wouldn't take anything back. It's been great. Learned a lot. Highs and lows, but loved every second of it.
Yeah, Patrick Corbin, throughout his struggles, has been a class act, and every indication has been that he has been a very good teammate, and I do want to give him a lot of credit for those things. It very much is time for the Nats and Corbin to part ways, but that does not mean that you can't salute Corbin for the good things that he did with the Nats. He deserves to be saluted for those things, and I'm happy that he on Thursday afternoon was saluted for those things. Hey, Al Galdi here to tell you about the latest great offer from Window Nation for listeners of the Nats Chat podcast. 2 free windows for every 2 windows that you buy, plus pay nothing with no interest for 2 full years. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com and tell Window Nation that you want the deal that you heard about from Al Galdi on the Nats Chat podcast. We are into September. Colder weather is coming. Now is a great time to replace your old inefficient windows with energy-efficient windows from Window Nation. Get a free, no-obligation quote now. 866-90-NATION or windownation.com. Window Nation is the best. Window Nation can install your new windows in a day or less, and Window Nation's windows come with a lifetime warranty. With proven quality and service, it's no wonder that thousands of homeowners have trusted Window Nation for years. And take advantage of the great offer for listeners of the Nats Chat podcast. 2 free windows for every 2 windows that you buy, plus pay nothing with no interest for 2 full years. 866-90-NATION or windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION or windownation.com. And tell Window Nation that you want the deal that you heard about from Al Galdi on the Nats Chat podcast.
If you are a fan of Vampire Weekend, then Game Time is your spot. They are performing at the Anthem on September 30th and October 1st, just after the Nats season wraps up. Game Time is proud of their ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. They also offer a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code NATSCHAT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code NATSCHAT for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
What's up, everybody? It's Heisman Trophy winner Matt Leinart. I've got a podcast called Throwbacks with actor Jerry Ferrara, where we'll be talking all things sports, but also so much more. We'll give you the behind-the-scenes stories from my days as the quarterback on an iconic college football team to Jerry's days as a star on an iconic TV series. So subscribe to Throwbacks wherever you download your podcasts and follow us on all social media at Throwback Show.
Finnegan sets. 4-4 the score of the pitch. Swinging a line drive, base hit into left field. One run will score. Rounding third, Massey coming to the plate. Wood up with the ball. Will throw it into second base. So not hit hard, but hit over the drawn-in infield. A pinch hit. 2-run single for Adam Frazier. And the Royals have plated 2 runs here in the top of the 9th inning. Now Kansas City 6 and Washington 4.
So we in this 7-4 loss to the Royals on Thursday afternoon had what we had with Patrick Corbin, and we also had what happened with the Nats bullpen. 4 Nats relievers combined to allow 3 runs in 3 2/3 innings, but all of the runs were allowed by one guy. Derek Law tossed 1 2/3 scoreless, hitless, and walkless innings. The only blemish was a 2-out fielding error by shortstop Nasim Nunez in the top of the 6th. Jose A. Ferrer tossed a perfect top of the 8th. But Kyle Finnegan allowed 3 runs in 2/3 of an inning. He came into the game to begin the top of the 9th with the game tied at 4. He faced 7 batters but got just 2 outs. He gave up 2 singles and issued 3 walks. The singles were a pinch 1-out, 2-run opposite field single by Adam Frazier to left field on an 0-2 pitch for a 6-4 Royals lead, and a 2-out first pitch opposite field RBI single by Salvador Perez through the right side of the infield for a 7-4 Royals lead. The Perez RBI single had an exit velocity of 104.8 miles per hour per Statcast in yet another instance of Finnegan giving up hard contact. Finnegan in this appearance threw 28 pitches, just 14 strikes versus 14 balls. Davey Martinez pulled Finnegan from the game. Jacob Barnes, he in the top of the 9th, faced 1 batter and got 1 out. But the takeaway with the bullpen from this game clearly is Kyle Finnegan. The Nats in the lead up to the 2024 MLB Trade Deadline this past July 30th made a decision not to trade Kyle Finnegan, despite there being many reasons to trade Finnegan. A, he's a reliever, and relievers are extremely volatile in terms of performance by nature. B, Finnegan gives up a lot of hard contact, making it so that his result stats, things like his ERA and the rate at which he accumulates saves, could be a house of cards that could come tumbling down. C, Finnegan is in his age 32 season, so it's not like he's some young ascending player. D, Finnegan has 1 season left of team control beyond this season and is going to cost a good bit of money via arbitration this coming off season. And E, yes, there is an E. We, in the lead up to this year's MLB trade deadline, had a major sellers trade market when it came to relievers. Teams got hauls for relievers, including the Nats in their trading of reliever Hunter Harvey to, yes, the Royals. So the Nats had all of these reasons to trade Kyle Finnegan. The team did not trade Finnegan. And what has happened? He, since the 2024 MLB trade deadline, has the following stats. Just 18 appearances, an ERA of 3.86, which is not good for a closer, a walks per 9 innings of 4.82, which is really bad for a closer, and a strikeouts per 9 innings of 7.23, which is not good for a closer. Do I think that Kyle Finnegan is some awful reliever? No, I don't think that. Do I think that the Nats may have blown it by not trading him at a peak value point? Yes, I do. Now, I say may because I don't know what the Nats were offered for Finnegan. Maybe the offers just weren't very good. But his season has come crashing back down to earth since that 2024 MLB trade deadline came and went. And that his season has come crashing back down to earth isn't shocking.
For those interested in learning a new language, whether it be Spanish, French, or something else, check out Babbel. Babbel's 10-minute lessons are quick and handcrafted by over 200 language experts, ready to get you talking about your new language in just 3 weeks. Because talking is the key to really knowing any language. Designed by real people for having real conversations, Babbel gets you talking. With over 16 million subscriptions sold, Babbel's 14 award-winning language courses are backed by a 20-day money-back guarantee, so no pressure. Here's a special limited-time deal for our listeners right now. Get up to 60%, that's 60% off your Babbel subscription, but only for Nats Chat listeners at babbel.com/natschat. Get up to 60% off babbel.com/natschat. Spelled BABBEL.com/natschat. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Here's the 0-1. Skied in the air to center field and deep, but Hampson drifting back to the warning track. This one has carry, and this one is gone. It just clears. And this game is tied. Luis Garcia hits yet another 3-run homer. And in the blink of an eye, the Nationals have tied the game.
The Nats offense in this 7-4 loss to the Royals on Thursday afternoon. Well, the Nats did not get shut out, so that right there was a positive. The Nats, off 3 consecutive shutout losses, did score 4 runs in this game, so we did have that. 4 runs, 7 hits, which were a home run, and 6 singles. 1 walk, 1 for 4. With runners in scoring position. The Nats homered on Thursday afternoon. Their first home run in 4 games. Luis Garcia Jr., he was the Nats starting second baseman and number 4 batter, marking his first game playing the field since the Nats' 10-1 loss at the New York Mets on September 17th. Garcia in that game hurt his right wrist, ended up missing 3 consecutive games, had served as a designated hitter since, but he on Thursday afternoon was back to playing second base, and he homered. Garcia went 1 for 4 with a 3-run homer. He had a Nats 3-run third, had a 1-out 3-run homer to center field to tie the game at 4. The homer went a projected 400 feet per Statcast and was the Nats' first home run since that 5-1 win at the Cubs this past Saturday afternoon. Joey Gallo in that game in a Nats 4-run 6 had a 1-out 3-run homer to right field for a 5-0 Nats lead. Luis Garcia Jr. for this regular season is number 1 among all qualified Nats players in OPS at 753 and is number 2 on the Nats in home runs with 17. He has not had a good September, but he was great in July and August, and this still has very much been a step forward season for Garcia. Luis Garcia Jr. to me is one of the biggest bright spots for the Nats this season. Good to see him homer on Thursday afternoon. Also, with the Nats offense on Thursday afternoon was another rough game for Dylan Cruz. He is the Nats starting right fielder and number 1 batter, went 0 for 4. Thursday marked 1 month to the day of the Nats announcing that they had selected the contract of Cruz from AAA Rochester. He's since then over 119 plate appearances, has an OPS of just 547. He's really struggling right now, as we have been discussing. So next up for the Nats is their final series of this regular season, a 3-game series against the National League East leading Philadelphia Phillies at Nationals Park. Game 1, Friday evening at 6:45. Trevor Williams will be the Nats starting pitcher. Game 2, Saturday afternoon at 4:05. Mackenzie Gore will be the Nats starting pitcher. And Game 3, Sunday afternoon at 3:05. Jake Irvin will be the Nats starting pitcher. You tell us what you think. You can hit us up on X at Nats_chat. You can email us, natschatpodcast@gmail.com. We have a website that we invite you to check out, natschatpodcast.com, at which you can purchase a Nats Chat Podcast t-shirt. All Nationals radio highlights on Nats Chat are courtesy of 106.7 The Fan. I'm Al Galdi. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next time on the Nats Chat Podcast.
Gurriel at first, no balls, 2 strikes. Corbin fires, swinging a tapper, third base side of the mound. Corbin off the hill has it. He gloves, he throws, he's out at first, and the side retired. Patrick Corbin has pitched 2 scoreless innings out of the bullpen, and he sends the World Series to the 8th inning.